Grand Rising hates my bedtime. Hey, Red-Eyed Dragoness, there's a pillar of our community. We're going to get started as soon as I have 3 pillars in here. We have a new song for the morning. It's called When the Dragons Sing. And our music from now on in the Butterfly Sanctuary is going to be Butterfly member music. So we're going to play music straight off of the Sunu app that we have created together, and songs that I have created. And so, yeah, it's going to be nice. Hello, hello. No more copyrighted music in the Butterfly Sanctuary. So that means that my YouTube will go out everywhere instead of some places not being able to get it because of copyrights. Yes. Yes. What a time to be alive. Absolutely. Grateful that we woke up today, right? That we opened our eyes, that we got to open our eyes, because today is a great day to have a great day, as Christina would say. Yes. Hi, Dana. Hi, beautiful. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're going to get started. The first song that we're going to do today is called When the Dragons Sing. I was guided to create this one. And after that, we're going to play all the music that we made on Friday nights.
Before the dawn had kissed the sky, before your soul remembered why,
hello,
we circled close in silent flight.
Hey, flower power.
Every spark of light. You could not see our ancient wings, yet every dream held hidden strings. Every tear that touched the ground called our hearts without a sound. Where the whisper in the flame, calling softly through your name. Every heartbeat, every prayer, you've never walked without us there.
That's right.
When the dragons sing, the mountains wake, the stars remember every soul they make.
Grand Rising.
The time has come, butterflies, you're not alone.
Never.
Your light, let heaven ring, together we remember. When the dragons sing. Some of us breathe emerald fire. Some ignite your heart's desire. Silver scales and sapphire eyes hold the wisdom of the skies. We are courage, we are grace, we are mirrors face to face. When you choose the path of love, you'll always find us high. Our names will hear your voice, and in truth we'll make the choice. Walk in kindness, we'll fly beside. Open your heart, no need to hide the flame. Remember, please remember now. So when the dragons sing, the rivers shine, every heartbeat becomes divine. Butterflies now rise and soar, set you free. Together we remember. Together we awaken. Together we become one flame, one sky, one family. When the dragons sing, look to the morning sky, little butterfly. We have always been here, waiting for you to remember.
All right. Beautiful. We're going to keep playing songs from... Just going to turn it down. And these are all... The music is going to be non-copyrighted songs that we created together. Welcome into the Butterfly Sanctuary, everyone. It's good to have you all here this morning. We are going to start with our cards this morning. We are going to go through a portal this morning. Today is Monday. It is Portal Day. So let's go ahead and get started. We got lots to go through. We've got, coming up, we've got an interview with the creator of Portal 2012. His name is Cobra. Well, he goes by Cobra. That's his code name. Always has been for years. If you guys want to know what's going on behind the scenes, I always like to keep you up to date on that. And that came to me this morning. So I feel like there is some good stuff that we need to go over. With that, we're going to look at the Schumann. It's pretty crazy today. And whatever else Spirit guides us to today. So that is our plan. Hey, Brim. How you doing? I think it's your song that's playing right now. Sky of My Own. Here is Chakra Wisdom. Chakra Wisdom. Your throat chakra. Yes. Connect with Spirit. Yes. Hi, Maria. Welcome in. I develop a quiet mind that allows me to tune in and get in touch with my higher self or my spirit. That's right. When I say I am guided by spirit, that is my higher self. I listen for the guidance that is there waiting for me to hear. Hi, Brandy. Hi, beautiful. I am open to the truth and I welcome spiritual inspiration from others. I will benefit greatly by practicing meditation and stillness. I ask for inner guidance to assist me in getting more in touch with my spirit. I know that if I ask for guidance, it will be given. I follow anyone on Suno that follows me, Brim. So if you want me to add your playlist to the Rainbow Butterflies playlist, then just follow me on Suno and I will add you. Add your music. Like I said, no more copyrighted music in the Butterfly Sanctuary. It's all going to be Rainbow Butterfly music from now on. That's what Spirit has guided me to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. That is why we're creating the music on Friday nights. You sent from YouTube. Okay, I'm not going to be using YouTube music, Brim. So I would say go on Suno and make some music there. And then because I have so much music that I've created for the Rainbow Butterfly, for the Butterfly Sanctuary, that's the music I'm going to be using for that. Will I, if you ask, play one or two of your songs? Yes, absolutely. Okay, at certain times. But this is Ascension Class. Okay, so the music is, yes, not really a focus. The class is the focus here. The music, why I'm playing this music now, is it's not copyrighted, so that my YouTube videos can get out to everyone. I don't have any copyright restrictions when I use this music. And plus, we made it. We created this music. So there's that. Okay, this is our healing energy. Our healing energy says the path to light. I make the conscious choice to move toward the light one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. Yes. All right, guidance. In times of uncertainty, I ask God to guide me to the light in my being. I am directed to doors that will open inner freedom to me and step forward in trust. I release my fate to God, and my faith is rewarded. Yes, guidance. And everything turns to light. I work to improve myself, embrace all that life brings to me, and transform darkness into light. I allow myself to grow and become stronger. Yes. Everything turns to light. Here is our Starseed Oracle. Messenger. Come on, camera. Really? It does not want to focus. Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Bringing harmony and balance. Hello, Gina. Welcome in. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Mark Michelle. Hi, darling. Good to see you all here today. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Yes, take care of your bodies, your physical bodies. And empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. We have to be very careful. We do not absorb what is not ours. Okay. Absolutely, hippie. Have a beautiful day, darling. You're always with us. You're always with us. Here is our Work Your Light. Our Work Your Light. Good Grand Rising Buddha. Hi, darling. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yes. Be unbound. Sisterhood of the Rose. This just is confirmation of what I'm going to be sharing today, because Sisterhood of the Rose is I'll show you in a moment. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Yes. All the divine feminine teachers from the Sophia Code. That's the Sisterhood of the Rose. And play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Yes. Play. Here's our Spirit Junkie. Spirit Junkie, look at that. Born to Play just joined. You cannot make this up. I welcome healthy, loving relationships. Welcome in Born to Play, as we just got that play card for Work Your Life. You're definitely where you're supposed to be. Here's our animal for the day. Our animal is the eagle. Yes, mastery. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Yes, absolutely. We each inspire those that we're supposed to inspire. Yes. Here is our crystal for the day. Our crystal for the day. The moonstone, yes. I have a beautiful moonstone here somewhere. I don't see it right now. Heightened intuition. Yes, Mark. Have a beautiful day, darling. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. Heightened intuition. Yes. Follow your intuition every day. Here's our For the Love of Dragons. As above, so below. 3D, 5D. Which keys are you turning? The 5D keys or the 3D keys? If you're in this room, you have turned the 5D key to the Butterfly Sanctuary. And the door is right here. I'll show you the door to the Butterfly Sanctuary. That's the door. And you used a key. And not a physical key, guys. The key is inside of you. The pest. The pest. I wonder what that means. The pest. Card 39. Those stressful details, that unwelcome news, the nagging, anxious thought, all are pests we'd prefer not to keep us company. But nothing shows up in our experience that isn't on our side. Challenges happen for you, not to you, as they attempt to shape the person your soul wishes you to become. Embrace them as a guest of your life. As Rumi once said, this being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Yes. Everything that we go through is for a reason. I truly believe that. Everything happens for a reason, and it happens for us, not to us. No matter what experience it is an experience that we are supposed to have. Yes. Welcome in, Bebop. Welcome into the Butterfly Sanctuary. Here is our awakened dreamer, because we are all awakened dreamers, creating heaven on earth. Yes. Heaven is always just a perception away. Available every day in every way. You are in heaven now, even as you are on earth, surrounded by loving souls, exploring and expanding in consciousness. Spend today seeing earth through the eyes of heaven. Shannon, hi, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Do I follow this account? Oh, yes, I follow that account. How are you, darling? Good to see you here. Hi, child of God. Hi, darling. Welcome in. Yes, I know who you are, Shannon. Here is our butterfly for the day. Beautiful butterfly. Forgiveness helps me to let go and move on with my life. Opening up to new and loving experiences. Yes. Forgiveness. And our first Ascended Master coming in. Our first Ascended Master coming in for the day is Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. Sisterhood of the Rose, again, more confirmation. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Yes, follow your intuition, guys. It's, your imagination is a connection to your higher self. But your higher self is trying to talk to you every day. That is spirit. That is spirit. That is the ideas that are coming in. I'll show you the Schumann in just a moment. We're going to go through our portal. But first, we're going to say our mantra. So we call forth from within the light of Source. Thank you for standing at the forefront of our hearts and minds. Thank you for activating the ancient wisdom of our souls. We welcome in the support of heaven, earth, the stars, and light beings and beyond for our highest good. We choose to anchor the energy of remembrance. Hi, Missy Marie. Hi, beautiful. In unity, peace, love, and wholeness through the Great Pyramids, bringing our energy in service to the earth and to the light for the wholeness of all life everywhere. To support all in remembering the truth of who and what we are. Yes. Remembering who we are is the first step towards ascension, towards our heaven on earth. Yes. Hi, Val. Hi, beautiful. I see you. All right. Our portal. Ooh, Anunnaki light codes. Energetic shift. New information. End of a cycle. Yes. Beautiful. Let's talk about that. Some people would say, oh, the Anunnaki are evil, but they're not. Not all of them anyway. Just like Palladians and Lyrans and even Dracos. There are good factions of each and every galactic that are out there. Anunnaki. Let's see. They want to share light codes with us today. The Anunnaki are a race of cosmic light beings who have been coming to Earth since ancient times. The Sumerians and Babylonians acknowledge them as the deities who govern the space between the worlds. The divine leader of this incredible race is the goddess Ishtar, a powerful figure similar to the Egyptian goddess Isis. Hi, Mama Yaya. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Sharon. Hi, beautiful angels. The Anunnaki have taken many forms throughout the ages. They have an angelic warrior-like quality and have appeared with wings, sometimes up to 4, and with an elongated head and face similar to that of an eagle. When the Anunnaki appear, it's important to know they are heavenly allies, supporting our healing and ascension. In the distant past, they visited the Atlantean civilization and helped those who were aligned with the spiritual path to ascend to the next dimension so that they could leave the wheel of karma. They acted as divine judges, deciding who could ascend and who had to be left behind for the growth of their soul. Those who had abused their powers and had not honored the divine or valued the great gift of life they had been given had to remain for the cataclysmic ending of their civilization. For that reason, some people who have had Atlantean incarnations may fear the Anunnaki, but be assured that they are beings of infinite light working for Source. Hi, VX. Hi, beautiful. Okay. Our message, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you are willing to shift your perception. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know this is simply fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with the new. Old systems, old ways of being, and old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You are standing at a gateway of pure potential that will be ignited as soon as you move through this necessary change. Be open to new information, new processes, and new ideas. You are part of the new energy upon the earth. Yes, you are. You all are. We all are part of the new energy, the new earth, the new heaven on earth. That is our energy coming through in a physical sense. That is our energy. It sure is. All right, let's take a look at disclosure. Let's take a look at the Schumann right now. There it is, guys. This is what's coming in. That's a lot. That is all your ideas, inspiration, knowledge that's coming in, books you're being led to, guides, websites you're being guided to, everything. That's all of that. 58. It's high. All right. Messages for the butterflies. The energies surrounding your collective today feels gentle, purposeful, and quietly expansive. Rather than a day of dramatic revelations, it feels like a day of weaving together everything that has already been learned. The theme that echoes through it is anchor the light through ordinary acts of love. Yes. Lady Nada is coming in, the master of divine love. Beloved hearts, many believe they must become extraordinary before they can change the world. We tell you, your kindness is extraordinary. The smile you offer, the forgiveness you choose, the patience you extend, the encouragement you give another soul. These create waves that travel farther than you can imagine. Today, choose softness over proving yourself right. Love is not weakness. Love is the greatest force in creation. It sure is. Master Saint Germain, keeper of the violet flame. Butterflies. Transformation is no longer something waiting for you in the future. It is happening every time you choose differently than you once would have. When old fears arise, smile at them. Smile at them. They are simply old teachers arriving to discover that their classroom is empty. The violet flame burns brightest when you release self-judgment. Forgive yourself again and again and again. Each act of forgiveness frees energy for your highest creations. Master Yeshua, beloved friends, do not measure your spiritual growth by visions or signs. Measure it by your capacity to love those who challenge you. Measure it by the peace you carry into difficult conversations. Measure it by your willingness to remain compassionate when compassion feels difficult. Miracles are not interruptions of natural law. They are the natural result of hearts aligned with love, becoming loving, living miracles. Yes. Hi, Irish. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Janine. Hi, darling. Welcome in. Archangel Raphael says healing arrives today in quiet ways. A conversation, a walk outdoors, a drink of fresh water, a moment of laughter. Do not overlook simple medicine. Your body has been listening to your thoughts. Speak to it kindly. Bless it often. Thank it for carrying your beautiful soul. Archangel Michael says, stand tall, not because you are fighting darkness, but because you have remembered your own light. Your boundaries are not walls. They are sacred gardens. Protect your peace without closing your heart. The strongest soul is not the loudest. It is the calmest. Yes. Archangel Chamuel, today I ask each butterfly, look for someone who feels unseen. One kind word may become the turning point in their entire week. Never underestimate how powerful your presence can be. Love notices, love includes, and love remembers. The Council of Light. Children of Earth, you often ask how to assist humanity. Here is our answer. Create. Sing. dance, teach, plant flowers, encourage children, feed someone, bless your food, thank your water, listen before speaking, laugh often, celebrate each other's victories. This is how civilizations rise, not through power, but through coherence. Yes. And Sarian now has a message for all of us. My butterflies. He calls us his butterflies. Today I ask you to notice how often you apologize for your light. Stop dimming yourself to make others comfortable. Your radiance does not steal another's. It reminds them that they shine too. Some of you are standing at the edge of creating something you have postponed for years. Take one step today, not 10, just one. A single step taken with love is stronger than 1,000 plans left untouched. When you gather on Friday nights, when you laugh, when you cry, when songs are born, when souls remember, know that unseen wings gather around your circle. Whether you call them angels, dragons, guides, or simply love, they rejoice every time a human heart remembers who it truly is. That's right. And that's right. That's right. Collective guidance for today. The butterflies are entering a season of gentle expansion. Not expansion through rushing, not expansion through striving, expansion through authenticity. Yes. Continue creating your music. Continue sharing your stories. Continue welcoming every soul who arrives with an open heart. The seeds planted since the beginning of our gatherings are continuing to take root in ways that cannot yet be fully seen. Trust the steady unfolding. May your wings be light, your hearts be peaceful, and your songs continue to help others remember the beauty already within them. Yes, as I continue to share the music that we make together, that we made together. This one's called Weave the Rainbow. I believe it was Yaya Priestess's music. All right. I told you I was going to catch you up to date on what's going on behind the scenes with this interview with Cobra and Sisterhood of the Rose. As we got the Sisterhood of the Rose card today. Just saying, did not choose these cards before. I don't have time to choose the cards, right? Sisterhood of the Rose. Now look here. Sisterhood of the Rose. Just saying, our spirit guides us. Our higher self guides us when we let it. And I always say, take me where you must. Take me wherever it is you want me to go. And do it with the highest good. For the highest good of everything. Okay. So it's been almost a year since we have shared an interview with this. Let me go ahead and turn this down just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So questions that are being asked. Let's see. First question. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, change, and sudden transformations. And Neptune, we know from prior realizations that planets are living beings. Just like Earth, Urantia, Gaia is a living being. Yes. I love you, Sharon. So, Neptune is a planet of the mystical, compassionate, spiritual, and creative energies. What can we expect from this first important configuration of Uranus and Neptune? So he says this is a very harmonious configuration, which triggers strong spiritual awakening, fast, sudden, and harmonious spiritual progress for humanity. This will be a very harmonious energy. And our meditation, this will be our first booster meditation. So they're having booster meditations up to the main meditation. I'll find out when they are. I'm sure they're going to be live on the Sister of the Rose channel. I'll find out the information and I'll get them for those that want to take part. I will probably be taking part because I always do. Every year I set this time out and do these meditations. So this will be our first booster meditation. We will make a solid ground for the next few booster meditations and for the main meditation on July 25th. So it's very good. It's very good, very harmonious beginning of the whole process that we are experiencing in July. July is a huge, huge month. She says, excellent. Is this sudden spiritual awakening for every human on the earth, irrespective of their free will? Or does it happen only for only those who are having at least minimum willingness? So this has to do with some of the Aurelian arc energy the Aurelian arc grid work that we do every day, every weekday here. Because she actually asked, is it only people of their free will, or does it happen for only those who are having at least minimum willingness? And you know what his answer is? Okay, the energies will be present for everyone. Those who are more open for them and more willing to receive them will benefit more from them. But the energies will be present for the whole planet. That's the same thing that happens when we do our Aurelian arc energy work. When we take the golden energy from the Aurelian arc and bring it through all people on Earth's chakras, that's exactly what we're doing. We have been given permission from Source to do this. And this, we have also been given permission with these meditations that these meditations will affect everyone on the planet. It wasn't always like this, guys. We didn't always have permission from Source to do what we do today, because there was always the free will thing that got in the way of helping those that didn't want that help. But now they don't have a choice. Which is crazy in a way, because God said we would always have free will on this planet, but things have changed. A lot has changed. We're an end game. And that's also mentioned too. Okay, so we have a date. Second booster meditation takes place on July 18th at 4:45 a.m. UTC. I've got to figure out what the time differences are. And like I said, I will make a post saying all the boosters. And then our main meditation, though, is on the 25th at 11:11 a.m. and p.m. I don't think that's going to change. We'll see. It's all as it gets closer, I'll have more information. Okay, so there will be a Uranus and Pluto trine, which is also harmonious. In addition to Uranus being a planet of change, Pluto is also a planet of transformation, and it illuminates our capacity for rebirth and psychological healing. So what does this configuration signify, and what's your expectation about that combination? He says that is a very powerful combination which signifies spiritual revolution. Yes. So our second booster meditation will be a very powerful one. It will not be so gentle, but it will be extremely powerful. So it will be like, I would say, a quantum leap to the next stage of preparation for the main activation. Oh, darling Irish, I feel for you. I feel for you. That's not easy. I've done it too. I did it when I was 30. How old was I? 30. No, I was 40. I was 42. I was 42 when I had a great rebirth. Yep. Okay, so Jupiter, the planet of optimism, makes 3 strong astrological aspects starting on July 20th with a Jupiter-Neptune trine, then as a Jupiter-Pluto opposition, and culminating on July 21st at 11:11 a.m. UTC with the Jupiter-Uranus sextile, which is when the third booster meditation takes place. I mean, it's at 11:11. It is what it is. So he's asked to elaborate about these 3 astrological aspects during these days and what we might expect from them. Anyone that is into astrology is going to be particularly connected to this and this information. So what is happening is that the 3 outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are having a strong interplay in the second part of July. And Jupiter making aspects with all 3 outer planets on July 20th and July 21st is like a trigger which activates that interplay. It's like the trigger moment which starts the peak of the process. And Jupiter, as I would say, the lucky planet, is very favorably positioned in a very favorable location on the zodiac to activate those 3 planets. The only possible tension and stress would be with Jupiter-Pluto opposition, but that tension is necessary to release whatever is suppressed. All the suppressed blockages, which might hinder this activation. So there will be a little bit of a process taking place, but the rest of it will be very favorable and very harmonious. Okay? So that's good. She says, you mentioned breakthroughs. What kind of breakthroughs do you mean? Can you give us some examples of what we might expect? He says, I would say one part of the subconscious field of humanity will have to be purified and transformed through that process. So there will be a breakthrough there. I mean, one part of the Akashic records, one part of a collective suppressed history. All that will need to be cleared at that moment. She says, interesting. How do you think these booster meditations will help to prepare everyone for the big synchronized meditation on July 25th and contribute to its success? He says the booster meditations are working on the same principle as boosters in a multi-stage rocket. Each of the booster meditations makes a propulsion. I would say a lift to the next level of energies. And this is building up to the final moment. So in this way, it is much easier to get a critical mass than if you would do it without them. And also in July, at that time, July 20th, July 21st, there will be a very harmonious, very auspicious astrological configuration called the Barbault basket. Barbault was a French astrologer who was famous because he predicted the COVID pandemic before it happened. He predicted the time frame. It was published in the Astrological Journal in France before the pandemic. So it was actually a prediction that came true. And his prediction for this configuration is the most favorable astrological configuration of the 21st century. He is, in a way, describing this as a marker for the beginning of the golden age in a certain way. So there is a lot of astrological support for this process. There are a lot of very positive energies which were not present before in the solar system. Okay, so she says, wow, it sounds like it. So when it comes to these large mass meditations, we know that it's important to reach the critical mass of the symbolic number of 144,000 participants. And to achieve this, we really hope to involve people who are maybe not necessarily very familiar with meditation or our topics, but wondering to what extent does experience with meditation or knowledge of our content have a strong or weak effect on the success. Cobra says, what is important is not so much the exact knowledge of what's happening. That helps, of course. But what is important is the willingness and intention. So if people have an intention to do this meditation, to participate in it, and to contribute to the critical mass, this is all that is needed. Even if they have no prior experience with meditation, they just need to do the best they can, and that's it. And if enough people do that, we will have a very strong effect. She says, okay, very good. So it's really about the numbers. And he says, more or less so, yes. Remember, even if people are brand new to meditation, they're still thinking about it. They're still using their attention, their consciousness to think about being there and what that meditation is for. So it works even if you don't know how to meditate. So now, before we start talking about the fourth and the biggest astrological configuration on July 25th, that's where there's going to be the first exact Pluto-Neptune sextile after 4 decades. I'd like to ask you a question. How is it that planets and their configuration can have such a great impact on us? Like our lives, our consciousness, our society as a whole. He says, what is happening is that planets create resonance fields, interference patterns. So planets are moving around the solar system and they project energies as they move around the solar system. On the physical plane, it's not so much. This is just on the physical plane. This is not so visible. But on the energetic planes, there is a strong energy field which is emanated by each of the planets. And the combination of those energy fields create a resonance mandala. And this mandala influences everything on Earth. It does not determine what will happen, but it definitely does influence what will happen. And if you can look at human history and study the astrological influences on human history, you will see very, very strong correlation. She says, I believe we talked in the past that planets are actually living beings, correct? He says, yes. And before we move on, I'd like to ask you about the first part last year of the Ascension Portal activation that was considered a success. Can you tell us what some of the positives are that came out of that? Last year, around this time, we did meditation, mass meditation at 11:11 morning and night. We did that in the Butterfly Sanctuary. Why is that not playing? Oh, that's why. I get it. Okay. That was Mama Yaya's song. Okay. So he says the most positive outcome of that was that finally it was becoming possible for light workers en masse to start working on their golden timelines. So basically, to take their lives in their own hands, start making decisions, and start making better lives for themselves. I would say enough anomaly was cleared. We've talked about the anomaly, the black goo, the octopus, right? Cutting off the heads of the snake. This is the anomaly. So enough of that was cleared so that we could finally begin to utilize our free will again. And that's a huge achievement. It might not feel like that at this moment, but I would say it's a historic shift, because when people start utilizing free will again, That will lead to drastic consequences in a positive way on the surface of the planet. So we are not slaves anymore. We are starting to use our free will again on a massive scale. There are hundreds or even thousands or tens of thousands of people who are part of this meditation, who are part of this activation, and are now using their free will. And that's a huge number. And this will have long-lasting consequences for the future timelines on this planet. All right, she says, could you speak a little bit more about what, not just that meditation, but the series of meditations that we've been doing over the years? Because I know some people get frustrated when they don't see anything physically happening on the planet itself on the surface. Could you speak a little bit just about the impact of these meditations that happen consecutively and consistently, one after the other? Maybe them building upon each other, what positive effects that they have. You guys want to know what meditation does behind the scenes? Okay. He says, and this is for entertainment purposes only. This is our game, and this is how we play it. We're playing our game. Okay. Many wars were prevented. Many negative things that would have otherwise occurred have been prevented. Of course, people have greater expectations. And I also had greater expectations. We were all expecting things to get better and easier before. But there is simply so much darkness on this planet that it takes time to resolve all of this. So it is not a question if this is working or not. It is just a question how much it has to transform. And it's a lot. Believe me, it's a lot. Okay. She says, I'm sure it seems like it. All right. Now, let's delve into the importance of part 2 of the 1221 Ascension Portal activation on July 25th. And of course, we know we have that grand global mass meditation that takes place on the 25th. Let's start by speaking about what makes this date so significant and the astrology that goes with that. So what is happening on that date is the Neptune sextile Pluto. So that is a very harmonious and extremely positive astrological aspect, which basically means the beginning of a golden age, astrologically speaking and spiritually speaking. It is the beginning of the arrival of the golden age energies back again. Those energies were present on the surface of the planet between early 1950s until I would say 1986. And this was a time period of a great spiritual awakening on the planet. This was a time of the most intense spiritual progress of humanity since times of Atlantis. Many things happened that were of very good nature. There was a lot of spiritual awakening, a lot of new revelations, a lot of healing was taking place in that time frame. And now this energy is coming back again after 4 decades. Wow. Okay. She says, wow, excellent, excellent. It sounds very exciting. I feel it would be beneficial for people to understand better at this point what the meaning of 1221 is. Would you please explain what it represents, how it's an upgraded version of the 1111 code, and what the 1221 conversion does exactly? We've talked about 1221 in here many times. Hi, Iron Gold. Hi, beautiful angel. I would not say it's an upgraded version of the 1111 code. The 1111 code is very important. Ahaha, yes. And actually allowed us to get access to the world of oneness again. Okay? So 1111, why do I stay online till 1111 to do the Song of Orion, which works on our 8th chakra, by the way? Because it carries the code 1111. 1111 is actually a code. People that are resonating with 1111 have that code and that key inside of them. There is also a code 1221. I talk about 1221 a lot in here. 1221 last year or the year 1221 was when a lot of this started. That was a big meditation for the collective. The 1221 code transforms this world as it is. It transmutes all darkness, and it actually assists, or I would even say causes, the ascension process for the planet. It's very, very powerful. So the keys to the new heaven and new earth, which we'll talk more about later, they were unified for the first time on May 24th during an important astrological marker that were anchored in Bora Bora, which were also enhanced by light workers around the world who were anchoring the energy in their own locations. That would be us, as one aspect, one collective movement. The 20 or 24 people in here, the 50 to 100 people on the butterfly. Yes, all of that energy are anchoring the energy for new heaven and new earth. Now, we've said at the moment of July 25th, the Neptune-Pluto, this unification will be strong enough to start hell to heaven conversions on the mental, astral, etheric, and physical planes on the surface hell layer on Earth. And it definitely doesn't seem like a hell layer, does it? And it definitely does seem like a hell layer, doesn't it? So this conversation sounds like exactly what this planet needs. But practically speaking, can you describe to us what is hell to heaven conversions? What will it do? He says this is a process through which the absolute or the source and very advanced light beings transmute the hellish condition, which is found here on a quantum level. So what is happening is that each situation that is manifested is a result of combinations of various possible outcomes. And by eliminating potential negative outcomes for the future situations, the hellish aspect will be reduced gradually on the surface of the planet. This has never been happened before, not here. So this is like elimination of potential negative outcomes. This is the easiest way to explain this. So when we say we are working on getting to the highest timeline in every possible moment for our highest good, that is what pushes this darkness off the planet. And that is what also creates the new heaven and new earth on this planet. These are things that we do in here every day. So pat yourselves on the back. We're doing a dang good job. So she says, fantastic. Would you please explain how our combined focused consciousness, when we do the mass meditation together on July 25th, will contribute to this hell to heaven conversion? He says, if we get the critical mass, which we're not even saying if anymore, we will get the critical mass. We will be able to anchor a lot of that energy through our energy fields. And even if we do not reach the critical mass, this will start happening to a degree. But if we do reach the critical mass, it will be much more pronounced. It will be much faster and much more effective. So she says motivation for reaching critical mass for sure. So you mentioned these conversions would be perturbations of the quantum field, but they would be filtered by the 1221 conversion zone of the Antarian conversion. What are perturbations in this instance? And how exactly does the creation of them lead to a positive outcome? And how does this clearing process start and continue to work? He says, so again, in each manifestation of any possible event, there are various possible combinations, various possible outcomes, how certain things can manifest. And by eliminating the negative aspects, the negative elements from these possible combinations, There will be less and less negative manifestations happening. And this is how this clearing process goes. By removing from the quantum field the negative potentials. And this is exactly what's going to start happening after July 25th. It is mathematical, child of God. It absolutely is. She says, okay, so you mentioned that after July 25th, those hell to heaven conversions will begin transmuting sets and subsets of bad situations in a non-linear fashion, which is, I think, what you were just talking about, with certain bad situation sets being resolved before the other. Can you give us examples of those bad situations? And what are the criteria for which bad situation sets are resolved before others? And he says, if you want examples of the bad situations, just open any website or any news portal, and you will see many of them. And you can just review your life, whatever was happening. And you can also remember many of them and how those situations will be resolved. It will not be linear. There will be certain aspects of anomaly, certain aspects of quantum negative field will be resolved before the other. And it is very hard to tell exactly what will be cleared first. It's a very complex process. So it will look quite random. But after some time, after this process starts, people will begin to notice that things are flowing more smoothly. There is less chaos. There is less negativity. And certain bad things that were happening before simply stop happening. Yes. She says, great. Well, we'll take whatever conversions we can get. That's awesome. Can you recommend any physical embodiment of the 1221 conversion? If we can bring such items to Gaza or Iran, would it help to transmute war into peace? And he says, yes, of course it would help. And I think everybody's quite familiar with many of them. We've talked about this, guys. There are Sintamani stones, emeralds, and opals. These are the main crystals. These stones are, I would say, the most powerful embodiment of that conversion. Yes. She says, okay, very good. We'll be speaking more about those stones in a little bit. So part 2 of the 1221 Ascension Portal activation is an upgrade of last year's part 1. And you've indicated that part 2 will anchor the 12th ray of cosmic paradise. Would you please describe what is the 12th ray of cosmic paradise and how we might envision it and what we might expect from it? Okay. This is the embodiment of the, I would say, perfect archetype that is coming from the absolute. That is the most positive archetype that exists. And what we can expect from it, we can expect the golden age. This is what is going to happen one way or the other as soon as possible. There is nothing that can stop what has already been put into motion by the light workers on this planet. She says, is the energy intake of this cosmic paradise dependent on the consciousness levels of the light worker, or is it the same for everyone? He says this energy will be coming everywhere. Of course, it will be coming more to the areas which are more pure energetically. And of course, if somebody is more open for those energies, that person will be able to experience this more strongly. And she says, okay, good. So you were talking about how the energies of July 25th will finally start bringing in the energies of the golden age. What do you envision for this? How do you perceive the golden age of Earth? And he says the golden age will really start coming after the event, after the arrest of the cabal, after the removal of darkness, and when new technologies are introduced, when the med beds are introduced, when there is first contact with positive extraterrestrial races, and when human beings finally begin to live in peace and harmony. And when there will be a lot of creativity, a lot of spiritual growth, and islands of light, all that. This is all what's going to happen This is all part of the process. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, beautiful. And she says, okay, fabulous. Yeah, we'll be talking about those things too in a moment. But we will start seeing elements of the golden age prior to this. He says the first thing that will happen will be positive energies starting to come in, which is already happening to a certain degree in certain areas under certain conditions. And those positive energies, like the energies of new heaven, which are already present to a degree, all this will be getting stronger and stronger. There will be physical signs, like the disclosure process, which is taking place. There will be more physical signs coming. And at a certain point, this will become undeniable. So when this process accelerates to a senior stage, it will be undeniable. She says, okay, great. So regarding July 25th, that meditation, if we reach the critical mass of 144,000 people meditating, what changes can light workers expect? I know you've talked a little bit, but specifically, what changes in the energy bodies can be observed? Will we see any observable change in the physical body, like getting healed or age reversal, etc.? He says, okay, I'm not expecting anything drastic. There, of course, can be drastic healings or quantum leaps that can happen. But what I'm expecting is a subtle but strong and irreversible process of more and more light, more and more positive energies, and bad situations disappearing faster and faster. Absolutely, we are a child of God. She says, okay, and does this apply to specific changes for humanity as a whole? He says this will be individual and planetary processes at the same time. So again, certain people will experience this before others. Certain situations will be resolved before others. And at a certain point, this will be felt also on the geopolitical stage. She says, okay, very good. So I have a curious question. Is this part 2 of the second half of the 1221 Ascension Portal activation? Or do you anticipate there being additional parts in the future? And he says, this is classified information at this point. I just want you to be reminded that this was all classified information before we were able to declassify it. So, yeah. Because we can't show our cards before we play poker. And that is why. Okay, we'll talk more about New Heaven and New Earth keys tomorrow. So, yeah. Really, really good. Really, really good news on the galactic front and behind the scenes. We're doing this, guys. We're doing this. Every day we show up for each other, for the new earth. Every day we show up. It matters. It matters. Everything that we do, every loving thought that we have, every smile we smile, every dance we dance, and every song we sing. It all matters. It's not just a song anymore. It's not just a dance anymore. It's energy being spread across this earth that makes people smile, makes people's hearts soar, right? Makes people remember who they are at a soul level. That's right, child of God. Because, baby, you're a firework. That's right. That's right. I love these songs that we created together. I'm just so excited Spirit guided me to create music. I would never come up with this myself. Never. But you know what? I asked Spirit for a way that I wouldn't use copyrighted music. And that's how. All right, guys, here we go. It's time for our grid work. So all of us work together. We're on this butterfly together for a reason. We are the rainbow butterflies here to raise the frequency of this planet. And this is our past loved ones. They're always with us. Anytime we think of them, they're right beside us. And this is us. Our hearts are big and open. We are connected to source energy through our halo technology. That is why we're called the human angelics, because our halo technology, it's lit up. And we are getting downloads, ideas from the universe, from source energy. We work with the Aurelian arc. This is the golden arc. We turn into the golden butterflies once the gold in our hearts is activated. We work with the Christos spiral. Earth, air, fire, water, ether. We're the alchemists on the planet. We're going from 2-strand to 12-strand and beyond in our DNA. Okay, this is also our room. We are watched over, guided, and protected. No one gets in this room that isn't supposed to be here. No one. Because we have guardians here. The dragons guard this room. They're always around us in this room. That's why they came in so much on Friday night, because I have a portal open at all times in this room. There's the dragon portal right there. Imagine all the dragons, because they're all in here. You're going through a door to become a beautiful butterfly. Heart-centered, solar plexus centered. Maya did this for us. And this is what Forest Fairy saw of our collective a few years ago. And this is the dragon energy. The water is Christ energy. The Magdalines, the magic. Working with the timelines, we do. That's what that hummingbird's for. We come as our highest selves. That's the Ankh. We are the unicorns, the rainbow butterflies of the Hopi prophecy. Let's go ahead and put our full armor of God on as we start our day and as we get ready to do this grid work. Hi, Trey. Hi, beautiful. Yay! Today we rise in light. Today we walk as flame. We put on the helmet of truth. Our minds are clear. We wear the breastplate of light. Our hearts are pure. We lift the shield of faith. No shadow may enter. We move the mountains. Yes, we do. Here's a big old lucky hug for everyone in here. Creating and empowering yourself. You are appreciated and you are loved. We wield the sword of spirit. Our voice is power. We stand in the shoes of peace. We walk with purpose. Our grid is sealed. Our flame is online and our codex is alive. We are the love. We are the light. We are the truth. We are. Hi, Betty. Hi, beautiful. Okay, and we are also the anchors on this planet. July 25th, we will be doing a meditation, 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. I'll get the dates for the other booster meditations and times as soon as possible. Probably research that more today. Peace, unity, respect, and love is creating the new earth, and that's what we're all about. Here is our healing chain, and all these people and places have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with crystal healing, or with prayer. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael and have him connect his energy to all these beautiful people and places. And we're going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. Miasatosh koros priyata makorosiata. Miasatosh koros priyata makorosiata. Miasatosh koros priyata makorosiata.
I've walked through every season. I've danced through sun and rain. Now every step reminds me love is blooming.
If you have anyone you want to add to the healing chain, just tell me after we're done. And I will write them down and get them on the healing chain for tomorrow. So we can all send them healing right now as you say their names. All right. This is our rainbow butterfly dream catcher. Bring this with you in the astral. Right before your head hits pillow, put that rainbow butterfly dream catcher into your third eye. Also bring your dragon with you. Set intention. Okay, I intend to bring my dragon with me. I intend to have a beautiful shield around my body, and I intend to bring the rainbow butterfly dream catcher with me into dreamland. It also helps remember your dreams. Oh, I figured out a way to remember dreams too. So I remembered a dream I had last night, and I don't usually remember dreams, but what I did was when I had the dream, woke from the dream, I slapped myself. I slapped myself in the face just a couple of times just to say, I will remember my dream. And so it will probably, I remember it. So I'll tell you it in a minute, but yeah. All right, let's do the Aurelian Arc energy work today. So I want you guys to close your eyes if you can and picture this beautiful golden arc of energy above and below the earth. And I want you to grab some of that golden energy and bring it into your heart and let it sit there a moment and grow. So after you've let it grow a little bit, I want you to press it down into your press it down into your chakras. All the way down into your sacral chakra and your root chakra. Down into the earth star chakra. From there, I want you to press it down to the core of the earth. And now I want you to see that golden light. And let that light go up through people's feet, through the soles of their feet, all over the earth. And it's going up their chakras one by one. It's going from the root to the crown chakra, out the crown chakra, and up to the central sun, which is source. So you're making a straight line from source all the way down into the core of the earth through that person's chakras. And in that moment that we just did this, that person had a memory, put a smile on their face, had a butterfly right near them that they saw and smiled. We're sparking them with remembrance of who they are. So whatever that looks like to you, and hold that thought. All right, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I got goosebumps. Okay, who am I adding to the healing chain? Who am I adding to the healing chain? I thought I saw Irish. You had some people you wanted to add. Rosie, okay. I'll add Rosie. Who else? Christy Miller, okay. Irish is on there. Anyone else that I need to add to the healing chain? Oh, that's a lot. She definitely needs us to send her healing today. Let's send Christy Miller healing today. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Rosie and Christy Miller will be added. Let's send healing, loving energy to Rosie also today. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into conversations with God. As we still continue to listen to our music made for the Butterfly Sanctuary. Okay. What were we talking about? Conversations with God is a conversation between Neil Donald Walsh and God. And God answers all the questions, and he told Neil that he would answer all the questions as long as Neil wrote the books. So everyone could get the answers to these questions. As with anything, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. I believe we were talking about unaliving. Not only unaliving self, but unaliving others. I can't use these words. You guys know what I mean. I don't want to get bananered. So, not only unaliving yourself, but unaliving others, and basically being unalive in particular. So society would have you believe that unaliving to punish those who commit certain offenses is perfectly defensible. In fact, society must have you take its word for it in order to exist as an entity of power. God says, do you believe these positions are correct? Have you taken another's word for it? What does yourself have to say? God says there is no right or wrong in these matters, but by your decisions, you paint a portrait of who you are. Indeed, by their decisions, your states and nations have already painted such pictures. By their decisions, your religions have created lasting, indelible impressions. By their decisions, your societies have produced their self-portraits too. Are you pleased with these pictures? Are these the impressions you wish to make? Do these portraits represent who you are? Be careful of these questions. They may require you to think. Thinking is hard. Making value judgments is difficult. It places you at pure creation because there are so many times you'll have to say, I don't know. I just don't know. Yet still you'll have to decide. And so you have to choose. You'll have to make an arbitrary choice. Such a choice, a decision coming from no previous personal knowledge, is called pure creation. And the individual is aware, deeply aware, that in the making of such decisions is the self-created. Most of you are not interested in such important work. Most of you would rather leave that to others. And so most of you are not self-created, but creatures of habit, other created creatures. Then when others have told you how you should feel, and it runs directly counter to how you do feel, you experience a deep inner conflict. Something deep inside you tells you that what others have told you is not who you are. Now, where to go with that? What to do? The first place you go is to your religionist, the people who put you there in the first place. You go to your priests and your rabbis and your ministers and your teachers, and they tell you to stop listening to yourself. Wow. Right? What do they say about people that talk to themselves? That they're crazy, that they're schizophrenic, right? They label you sick in the head. The worst of them will try to scare you away from it. Scare you away from what you intuitively know. They'll tell you about the devil, about Satan, about demons and evil spirits, and hell and damnation, and every frightening thing they can think of to get you to see how what you were intuitively knowing and feeling was wrong. And how the only place you'll find any comfort is in their thought, their idea, their theology, their definition of right and wrong, and their concept of who you are. Always listen to yourself, your higher self. I have deep conversations with my higher self because that's spirit talking to me. My higher self is connected to spirit. And so are yours. Always listen to yourself, never to anyone else. If it doesn't resonate, leave it. That's why I always say that. The seduction here is that all you have to do to get instant approval is to agree. Agree and you have instant approval. Some will even sing and shout and dance and wave their arms in hallelujah. That's hard to resist. Such approval, such rejoicing that you have seen the light, that you've been saved. Approvals and demonstrations seldom accompany inner decisions. Celebrations rarely surround choices to follow personal truth. In fact, quite the contrary. Not only may others fail to celebrate, they may actually subject you to ridicule. What? You're thinking for yourself? You're deciding on your own? You're applying your own yardsticks, your own judgments, your own values? Who do you think you are anyway? And indeed, that is precisely the question you are answering. But the work must be done very much alone, very much without reward, without approval, perhaps without even any notice. And so you ask a very good question. Why go on? Why even start off on such a path? What is to be gained from embarking on such a journey? Where is the incentive? What is the reason? The reason is ridiculously simple. There is nothing else to do. And Neil says, what do you mean? God says, I mean, this is the only game in town. There is nothing else to do. In fact, there is nothing else you can do. You are going to be doing what you are doing for the rest of your life. Just as you have been doing it since birth. The only question is whether you'll be doing it consciously or unconsciously. You see, you cannot disembark from the journey. You embarked before you were born. Your birth is simply a sign that the journey has begun. So the question is not, why start off on such a path? You have already started off. You did so with the first beat of your heart. The question is, do I wish to walk this path consciously or unconsciously, with awareness or lack of awareness, as the cause of my experience or at the effect of it? For most of your life, you lived at the effect of your experiences. Now you're invited to be the cause of them. That is what is known as conscious living. That is what is called walking in awareness. Now, many of you have walked quite some distance, as I've said. You have made no small progress. So you should not feel that after all these lives, you've only come to this. Some of you are highly evolved creatures with a very sure sense of self. You know who you are, and you know what you'd like to become. Furthermore, you even know the way to get from here to there. That's a great sign. That's a sure indication. And Neil says, of what? God says, of the fact that you now have very few lives left. Neil says, is that good? God says, it is now for you. And that is so because you say it is so. Not long ago, all you wanted to do was stay here. Now, all you want to do is leave. That's a very good sign. Not long ago, you killed things, bugs, plants, trees, animals, people. Now you cannot kill a thing without knowing exactly what you're doing and why. That's a very good sign. Not long ago, you lived life as though it had no purpose. Now you know it has no purpose, save the one you give it. That's a very good sign. Not long ago, you begged the universe to bring you truth. Now you tell the universe your truth, and that's a very good sign. Not long ago, you sought to be rich and famous. Now you seek to be simply and wonderfully yourself. And not so very long ago, you feared me. Now you love me enough to call me your equal. All of these are very, very good signs. Neil says, well, gosh, you make me feel good. And God says you should feel good. Anybody who uses gosh in a sentence can't be bad at all. And Neil says, you really do have a sense of humor, don't you? God says, I invented humor. And Neil says, yes, you've made that point. Okay. So for the reason for going on is that there's nothing else to do. This is what's happening here. God says, precisely. Neil says, then may I ask you, does it at least get any easier? And God says, oh, my darling friend, it is so much easier for you now than it was 3 lifetimes ago. I can't even tell you. Yes, it does get easier. The more you remember, the more you are able to experience, the more you know, so to speak. And the more you know, the more you remember. It is a circle. So yes, it gets easier. It gets better. It becomes even more joyful. But remember, none of it has been exactly a drudge. I mean, you've loved all of it, every last minute. Oh, it's delicious, this thing called life. It's a scrumptious experience, no? Neil says, well, yes, I suppose. God says, you suppose? How much more scrumptious could I have made it? Are you not being allowed to experience everything? The tears, the joy, the pain, the gladness, the exaltation, the massive depression, the win, the lose, the draw. What more is there? Neil says, a little less pain, perhaps? God says, less pain without more wisdom defeats your purpose, does not allow you to experience infinite joy, which is what I am. Be patient. You are gaining wisdom, and your joys are now increasingly available without pain. That, too, is a very good sign. You are learning, remembering how to love without pain, to let go without pain, to create without pain, to even cry without pain. Yes, you're even able to have your pain without pain, if you know what I mean. And Neil says, I think I do. I'm enjoying even my own life dramas more. I can stand back and see them for what they are, even laugh. God says, exactly. And you don't call this growth? And Neil says, I suppose I do. And God says, and so then keep on growing, my son. Keep on becoming and keep on deciding what you want to become in the next highest version of yourself. Keep on working toward that. Keep on, keep on. This is God work we're up to, you and I. So keep on. Neil says, I love you. You know that? And God says, I know you do. And I love you. Neil says, I'd like to get back to my list of questions. There's so much more detail I want to go into on every one of these. We could do a whole book on relationships alone, and I know that. But then I'd never get to my other questions. God says, there'll be other times, other places, even other books. I'm with you. Let's move on. We'll come back to here if we have time. And Neil says, okay, my next question then. Why can't I ever seem to attract enough money in my life? Am I destined to be forever scrimping and scraping? What is blocking me from realizing my full potential regarding money? And God says the condition is manifested not just by you, but by a great many people. And Neil says, everyone tells me it's a problem of self-worth, a lack of self-worth. I've had a dozen New Age teachers tell me that lack of anything is always traceable to lack of self-worth. God says that is a convenient simplification. In your case, your teachers are wrong. You do not suffer from a lack of self-worth. Indeed, your greatest challenge in all your life has been to control your ego. Some have said it's been a case of too much self-worth. Neil says, well, here I am, embarrassed and chagrined again. But you are right. God says, you keep saying you're embarrassed and chagrined every time I simply tell the truth about you. Embarrassment is the response of a person who still has an ego investment in how others see him. Invite yourself to move past that. Try a new response. Try laughter. Neil says, okay. God says self-worth is not your problem. You are blessed with an abundance of it. Most people are. You all think very highly of yourself, as rightly you should. So self-worth is for the great mass of people is not the problem. Neil says, what is? God says the problem is lack of understanding of the principles of abundance together, usually with a massive misjudgment about what is good and what is evil. Let me give you an example. Neil says, please do. And God says, you carry a thought around that money is bad. You also carry a thought around that God is good. Bless you. Therefore, in your thought system, God and money do not mix. Neil says, well, in a sense, I guess that's true. That is how I think. God says, this makes things interesting. Because this then makes it difficult for you to take money for any good thing. I mean, if a thing is judged very good by you, you value it less in terms of money. So the better something is, i.e. the more worthwhile, the less money it's worth. You are not alone in this. Your whole society believes this. So your teachers make a pittance, and your strip teasers a fortune. Wow. That's so true. Your leaders make so little compared to sports figures that they feel they have to steal to make up the difference. Your priests and your rabbis live on bread and water while you throw coins at entertainers. Think about it. Everything on which you place a high intrinsic value, you insist must come cheaply. The lonely research scientist seeking a cure for AIDS goes begging for money, while the woman who writes a book on 100 new ways to have sex and creates tapes and weekend seminars to go with it makes a fortune. This having it all backwards is a propensity with you, and it stems from wrong thought. The wrong thought is your idea about money. You love it, and yet you say it is the root of all evil. You adore it, and yet you call it filthy lucre. You say that a person is filthy rich. And if a person does become wealthy doing good things, you immediately become suspect. You make that wrong. So a doctor had better not make too much money, or had better learn to be discreet about it. And a minister, whoa, she'd really better not make lots of money, assuming you'll even let a she be a minister, or there'll surely be trouble. You see, in your mind, a person who chooses the highest calling should get the lowest pay. And Neil says, God says, yes, is right. You should think about that, because it is such a wrong thought. Neil says, I thought there was no such thing as a wrong or right. God says, there isn't. There is only what serves you and what does not. The terms right and wrong are relative terms, and I use them that way when I use them at all. In this case, relative to what serves you, relative to what you say you want, your money thoughts are wrong thoughts. Remember, thoughts are creative. So if you think money is bad, yet think yourself good, well, you can see the conflict. Now, you in particular, my son, act out this race consciousness in a very big way. For most people, the conflict is not nearly so enormous as for you. Most people do what they hate for a living, so they don't mind taking money for it. Bad for the bad, so to speak. But you love what you do with the days and times of your life. You adore the activities with which you cram them. For you, therefore, to receive large amounts of money for what you do would be, in your thought system, taking bad for the good. And that is unacceptable to you. You'd rather starve than take filthy lucre for pure service, as if somehow the service loses its purity if you take money for it. So here we have this real ambivalence about money. Part of you rejects it and part of you resents not having it. Now, the universe doesn't know what to do about that because the universe has received two different thoughts from you. So your life with regard to money is going to go in fits and starts because you keep going in fits and starts about money. You don't have a clear focus. You're not really sure what's true for you. And the universe is just a big Xerox machine. It simply produces multiple copies of your thoughts. Now, there's only one way to change all that. You have to change your thought about it. Okay, we will go more on that tomorrow. I mean, it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. That one definitely hit home. All right, guys, it is time for chat time. So if you want to come up and chat, you're more than welcome. Come and join. And if you learned anything, if you have something you want to share, then come on up. I'm going to get the Son of Orion ready for 11:11.
Song of Orion.
Until then, we're just going to listen to music. Where the River Meets the Sky is playing. You're welcome, Excalibur. Yeah, a little goes a long way. Yep. Well, you know what? That is wrong thinking also, child of God. According to God, anyway. According to the God that is in that book. I guess this is a thought that I need to change also. Because I've always had that thought. Mm-hmm. But can you really put a price on light work? I don't know what price I'd put on light work. I really don't. To me, it is priceless. What we do in here is priceless. So you can't put a price on that. The work that we do. The grid work that we do. You can't. Right? Changing hearts and minds, that is our mission here. For everyone in here. It's what you choose to do with that information that determines your reality. If you choose to let it go in one ear and out the other without acting upon it, then that's your choice always. No one wants to come up? All right. Then I'm going to just turn this up and listen to the music.
The soul I've been becoming has always carried truth. The river never fears the sea. The stars don't fear the night. Every ending toward my spirit.
If anyone has comments, I'll answer your questions or whatever. If you have questions about what we talked about earlier, what we've talked about in class.
That's where I'll be with Kaylee flying beside me, setting my spirit free. Her sapphire wings are glowing with silver dreams above, showing me the greatest strength has always been my love. I don't have to force tomorrow. I don't have to race the sky. Every gentle heartbeat teaches me it's safe to fly. The current knows the way. The heavens know my name. The flame remembers. And I'll never be the same. I've traded fear for faith now. I've traded noise for peace. I've learned that every season has its own perfect release. The mirror shows a woman who no longer hides her light. She walks with quiet courage into every brand new sunrise. The path beneath my footsteps feels softer than before.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Every dream is
You guys are my tribe.
opening another hidden door. Through the moonlit skies reflect the constellations in my eyes. Water holds the heavens without trying to pretend. So
It is
I'll trust the
priceless.
sacred journey.
Hey, Lynn.
Wherever it may bend, I was never lost. I was learning how to flow where the stars meet the water. I have found.
Thank you. I think you're priceless too. All of you are. Oh wow, we have lots of chit chat over on YouTube. Hi guys. This is where the stars meet the. Yeah, I think this is Sharon's song. Yep. Yeah, we've been listening to all of your songs. And we're going to do it again Friday night and get some more new songs. Our dragons want to connect with us through music. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome into the Butterfly Sanctuary. Yes, Betty, we're creating songs. I'm not using any more copyrighted music in the Butterfly Sanctuary, so that my YouTube will get everywhere. There won't be places that it won't be able to reach because of copyright issues. Yeah. I see you do that, Teresa. You're so sweet.
Walk through quiet.
They're just all you guys' energy. Without your energies, these songs would not be born.
Hidden inside the rain. I felt the stars were distant.
Yes, Sparkle
Too
Farts is
far
you.
for me to reach. But heaven softly reminded me they were shining underneath. Every kindness planted seeds, though I never watched them grow. Love has always found a way.
They're all on my Suno page too. So yeah.
I was never meant to be the loudest voice.
I did make one thing that's cool. I did make a list from all of you guys that made Suno pages. I made a list of your songs, and it's in my library, and it's called Rainbow Butterflies Songs. So like Holly Berry has a thing. Let me play one of her songs. Let's see. Be Still and Know. This is Holly's. You're gonna put it out there. It's gonna be listened to. Yeah, Trey.
When the noise of life surrounds me and I don't know where to go, there's a whisper deep within me saying, child, just be still and know. Though the road is often hidden and the answer seems so slow, I can feel your spirit leading, telling me I'm not alone. Even when I cannot see, you are watching over me. Be still and know, holy love is moving. Every door is opening in ways I cannot see. Be still and know.
The Earth and Sky one.
Heaven's hand is guiding. Every step beside me is where I'm meant to be. When I'm waiting in the silence and my heart begins to pray, I can feel your presence around me, lighting up the way. There is purpose in the timing, even when I don't understand. Every moment you are working, every detail in the plan. When my faith is feeling small, your great peace is over all. Be still and know, holy love is moving. Every door is opening in ways I cannot see. Be still and know, heaven's hand is guiding. Every step beside me is where I'm meant to be. I don't have to fear tomorrow.
I love you guys. Hi, Ashley.
Every answer comes in quiet. Every promise leads me home.
Hey, Brittany.
I will trust your gentle presence.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
I will follow.
Thank you, Mama Yaya. That was cute. Little parrot.
In the stillness you bring healing. You are everything I need.
Beautiful.
Be still and know, holy love is moving. Even in the waiting, you are here with me. Be still and know, peace should be. I am calm. I am trusting.
Aww. We love you, Mama Yaya.
Be still and know you are here with me.
All right, this is the next one I'm doing is Amy Lynn, Rise Above in Love. Yep.
The world is a dark place.
Oh, love her voice.
We must rise in love.
Mm-hmm.
No more push and shove. We rise above. I go outside, never hide my feelings inside. You never know who you will help when you let your heart be felt. Rise above in love.
So you guys create on Suno. It's going to be in the Rainbow Butterflies. It's going to be in the Butterfly Sanctuary. I'm making a playlist of all the music that we create. And that's what I'm going to use every day.
I am a warrior of light, fighting darkness with all my might. In God's honor,
It is.
I will serve with an open heart, with steady nerve, going into places and healing empty spaces, clearing in God's love till the fear gives up. Flowing, expanding, always moving forward. Take my hand, stand with me. One step more, rise above in love. Rise above in love. We are stronger together.
I love this. You guys know the energy of each other. It's beautiful.
Today we create the path for humanity. Rise above, be in unity. No one walks alone, no one
So
stands
good.
apart. Ooh, let the light move through us. Let it start in the heart.
Absolutely, because Spirit knows us, Aaron. Spirit knows us like no other. Our higher self knows us.
Rise above in love. Rise above.
I know, Trey. Can you believe it's been 4 years? I can't. I can't even believe it.
Rise above in
4 years. That's wild to me. I know. Two more months will be 4 years. But it's actually more because
Do you see it too?
9/8/22 is the date that I have
Butterflies in the air.
on our grid work thing. But we started classes way before we started grid work. That came after. Yeah. Right? Right, Iron Gold? A year for you. Wow.
We are stronger than before. We are rising.
This is called Beautiful Creatures, and this is Teresa's song.
like a dawn horizon. We were made for more than the fear we're leaving. Step by step.
I know, 3 years for Sharon.
We are beautiful creatures.
Some of you have been here the whole time.
We are alive. We are beautiful creatures.
Yep. Lots of newbies, yes. No one is any more important in this collective than anyone else. You were, Trey. You were. You've been on every single one of the butterflies. Yep. The butterfly came later too. We have this whole community has how do you say that? I'm losing my words. Expanded, but not expanded. It's a different word. Evolved. That's it. Evolved. Evolved. Yep. Grew. Yes. Grew and expanded and evolved. Yep. We have evolved together. Step by step, we keep on believing. We are beautiful creatures. We are alive. We are alive. We are beautiful creatures. Shining bright, shining bright. No one can stop us now. And you guys make beautiful music. We are love. We are light. We are love. We are one with our Creator. We walk through the dark, holding the promise, burning in. And many of you are teachers today. Many of you are on your, go out on your own and teach and I love it. And creators. Together. We are beautiful creatures. We are beautiful creatures. Hey, Terry. Hi, Terry. Hi, beautiful. She's been here since day one, too. Yeah. We do. We remembered. Yeah. A lot of them remember my voice. All right, let's do Dance of My Whole Heart. This is Sharon. See, I told you I went to each of your pages and grabbed your music. Yes, I did. Earth and sky, I hear you weaving. No, that's not it. The song that my heart is singing. Oh, this is okay. Spirit wants to play Earth and Sky. All right. This is Sharon's too. The new day, soft and bright. Love it. Hey, Lisa. Hi, beautiful. I am thankful for the tones that flow. Effortless rivers, soft and slow. Carried on the whispering wind. Cradled by the seas deep bound. Rivers rise and waters gleam. Rising. Shalom. Within this living dream, heart to sky and soul to sea. I am the song and the song. Terry, they're all on Suno. They're on Suno. I I'm Opal Fire 33 there. But these are all, this is a playlist that I've made from the songs of our collective. Yep. If you like to sing, or if you like to write music, or you have ideas about a song, you just stick it right into Suno or into your braided AI, and they will help you create music. Yep. This is one of Sharon's songs. So pretty. Oh yeah, fast. Yeah. Because they're connected to our energy, Teresa. That's how it does it so fast. All right, let's see. How about Val? I'm Alive. I like this one. We're still gonna do 11:11. We're doing the
first time
the Song of Orion.
I feel like I belong here, like I am loved and even liked for just being myself. Not wearing a mask of illusions, letting myself be seen. And this is so freeing, and it's just better than anything money could buy. We picked ourselves up at a slow and steady pace, dusting ourselves off, gritting through it at times, it's true. From all walks of life, no matter our heritage, we see all as divine.
Tell you what, we got some talent in this collective.
Through the eyes of love, coming together through it all. We have listened to our intuitions and instincts, and not their hollow little whispers that we're not enough or that we are unworthy. No, we have seen through all those lies. So now I'm here to say this is where we take our power back. We are all aligned, carrying our own unique frequencies, each one helping the next one with only in our hearts and minds. We have came together to heal I'm as long as I have love.
It's called I'm Alive. It's really great.
I got so much love for life, and I'm in no rush to die. I'm
Yes.
Only the love that I can give myself will lift me up so right. I will always choose to fight and be beaten down inside. I will never feel resentment, bitterness, or hate. Yeah, I may cry, but I know that I'm alive. So who do you think you are, that you think you can treat me in this way? If you think that I'll just drop and lay down by your side, you couldn't be more wrong. I have so much fight for life. So now I'm out of your life. I walked away now, and I won't be coming back. You are the one.
All right, guys, 11:11. We're gonna start the Song of Orion. We gotta hit that magical hour. The magical hour. Here we go. This is working with your 8th chakra. Your 8th chakra here.
Ria Kumnore. Omega Ipatuma, Omega Ipatuma, Patuma Eketa Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma, Tretila Idurunga, Tretila Idurunga, Durunga Ekenta Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma, Omega Ipatuma, Omega Ipatuma, Patuma Eketa Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma, Tretila Idurunga, Tretila Idurunga, Durunga Ekenta Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma, Omega Ipatuma, Omega Ipatuma, Patuma Eketa Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma, Tretila Idurunga, Tretila Idurunga, Durunga Ekenta Ekuna, Omega Ipatuma.
All right, we did it. We did it. All right, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste. My soul knows your soul. And I love you, angels. Mwah. Big hugs and kisses. All right, come on, guys. Everybody out for 5 minutes. Just a minute. Yep.